Hello! So today's video I want to do is about Arrow video. And I know most people now do videos of Winger Syndrome or Severin because of the sales coming up. But I was thinking actually of doing that either in late December or maybe January because yeah, I actually want the package from them before I do another upgrade video of Winger Syndrome. But Arrow Video is a label I think it was like the first label I actually started collecting. I was really late to the party, as many of you already know. I have been collecting my entire life, but I had a break for like 8 years because I'm a director and I made some films, and one of my film flopped so hard and I used all of my saving and my apartment and everything to make that film. So when it flopped, I almost lost my apartment, so I had to sell off my entire collection and yeah, get rid of a lot of stuff and start all over again. And I'm happy about that because now I have like the focus I have now is on boutique labels. Before I just had focus on titles overall. I do still have to focus on titles, but now it's more about the best releases from each company, and to be honest, my collection has never seen a better life than it does right now. Anyway, I will do a full go through with Arrow Video, and I will also do Arrow Academy, and I also have some third window films, not many, but I will do them. Um, I have not put the films in any specifical kind of order or genre or stuff like that. I think I have like the Italian collection, not the Italian collection, but Italian films at one stage. But we'll see. I'm not completely sure. What else? It's my dogs. They are always playing when I talk. I think it's hard to go wrong with Arrow. You gotta also remember that I've been buying for the last 5 years. I've been buying many titles, and when I work, I'm completely at work for months, so I don't have time watching films. But when I first have time watching films, I watch a bunch of films like regularly. I watch like from 3 to 6 films a day when I first have completely off work. But I do think I've been beginning to get pretty deep into the Arrow collection of films I haven't seen before. And many of the films I will show today I have seen before, but it's been years. And some films I've seen probably 5 times since I bought them. So it's going to be a mix here. I rearranged my collection right now for the Arrow, just to put all the Arrow titles at one place. Normally I have like the Arrow titles, like the ones without slip and stuff like that in the background. And I used to have one row where I actually have the films I want to see next. So I have like 50 titles to choose from. But when it comes to Arrow, normally I just take a title and see it if I haven't seen it before. If I'm first in the mood to just see a Arrow title, a new Arrow title. So because I would say that it's 50-50 with Arrow, and that's pretty damn good. It's 50% chance I like it, 50% chance I think it's okay to crap. But let's get going. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to follow my channel. Thank you for all the views lately. It's been crazy. I think I'm up to like 4 of my videos are almost up to between 6 to 10,000 views. So that's really cool. But I just get going, and as I said, no particular order here, just random shit. But I see here is mostly Italian, so let's get going. Here is a Japanese show, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen one of the films, but I don't want to talk about it since I haven't digged into it yet. I do love these kind of films. Kind of mix between stop motion, miniatures, action, and yeah, if I say Godzilla, we are there. And talking about Godzilla, Gamera, it's probably the closest you come to Godzilla, as maybe Gorgo also, actually, when I think about it. But Gamera was also a big kind of side series to Godzilla universe, and for me, I'm not the biggest fan of the old Gamera films. I don't think they are bad. I just think they are not close to Godzilla, the old section of Gamera. I did not buy the complete package of Gamera. I really wanted it, and it's now on on used sale in Norway. I'm thinking of picking it up, but let's see. Okay, Alexander Jodorowsky. Not my favorite director, but I do dig him a lot. From in my taste, I know most people will put The Holy Mountain on top, but for me, I think Fando and Lis is the best one. El Topo is probably number second, and then I think I take Santa Sangre, and then Holy Mountain. I didn't like his latest stuff when he goes more into, I wouldn't actually call it generic stuff, but still, I don't think he managed to tell a story like Santa Sangre would have been 10 times as good if he kept it to this kind of confusing art house style he does. The Female Prison, the complete collection, Scorpion, I haven't seen them. Or the thing is that I believe I saw them back in the days when Another World released them, if it is the same films. But I'm hearing a lot of good stuff about them, so I'm really looking forward to dig into them at one point. I haven't seen these two Italian films, but yeah, the crime thrillers from Italia is not the Italian films I put highest up there, but I still enjoy them a lot. Talking about Italian films, I really, really enjoy the Sergio Martino collection, if you like. I do think all of his films that I've seen so far is great. If I would put one of these, it's kind of hard because I do like The Suspicious Death of a Minor and Your Vice is a Locked Room, and Only I Have the Key. But I do like both of them really, really much. But as I said, it's hard to pick and choose. But I really recommend this box. It's not a beautiful box. It's one of their actually less good box from Arrow. But the films on this one is just amazing. And you also actually on this one you get let's see, it was you have the backside here if you want to check out yourself. It's I think it's the the interview, I don't remember, but there's a great interview here with the producer of one of the films that's talk really deep about Italian films in general. And it's an amazing, amazing interview. One of the best, actually, I've seen on these bonus features. I haven't started with this Italian box set, the Italian Tales of Terror. You get here the Lady Morgan's Vengeance, the Blancheville Monster, the Third Eye, and the Witch. I haven't started with them yet. So as you see, I have a bunch of films to see. But another reason why I haven't seen that many of these Italians releases on Arrow is because I'm soon closing up on the Italian collection from 88 films. I have over, I think it's 74 or something titles from there I've gone through now. So things take times, that's the thing. But I do love, I couldn't say I love every Italian movie, but close to that. The complete Satana collection, haven't begun on that yet. I know I've seen one of them at least before, but yeah. Year of Leap, haven't started on that either. Also a great fucking release of this hard box from Arrow. I've seen one of the films on this one. I've seen the Lucio Fulci one, and it's not my favorite Lucio Fulci, far from, but it was a nice shot western, and yeah, I'm looking forward to going into them as well. Have I seen any of these? I haven't opened this yet, but I've seen Smile Before Death before, but I don't think I've seen any of the other ones. No, I don't think so. It's hard also to keep track. That's why I use Letterboxd, because I think it's really hard to keep track on the Italian giallos, because they have so similar names, many of them, so you mix them often. I've seen The Possessed here, and I've seen The Fifth Chord. I haven't seen The Pajama Girls yet, Pajama Girls Case. I do think this is a great release. It's both of the films I've seen are not up there with my favorites, but they are still like really good Italians. Next one up is, we go over to just single limited editions, is the Crimson's Peak. Do you know what? I'm going to go on a limb here and say I'm not the biggest fan of Guillermo del Toro, but I do think he's amazing in the craft he do. I just don't think his stories really affects me that hard or give me that much pleasure. I love Pan's Labyrinth. I talked about that many times on the channel. Put it there for now. But Crimson's Peak is not up there, and I wasn't big fan of that. I like the film though, but the sea creature and the girl, what was that? Yeah, well, the one he released in 2017. I'm not the biggest fan of that film either. I just think it's a good film. It's just not a story that impacts me that well. But a story that really impacts me is RoboCop. This is probably on my top 5, maybe on my top 10 of best films ever. I love RoboCop, and yeah. Next one is Demonia, a film I liked a lot better than I first thought I was going to do, because it's one of Fulci's like most crapped on films that he made. I do think it's a great fucking film. I had to upgrade it, or not upgrade it, but buy another release because I had some problems with the Severin release that I own with the subtitles on it. So I bought the Arrow Limited, and I'm not regretting that at all. Enter the Void, absolutely not Gaspar Noir's best film, but I do still think it brings to the table some kind of enough plainness to what I want from an art house kind of surrealistic film. So I've seen it twice, and it's a good film. Last House on the Left, a fucking masterpiece in my book. I know many people are shitting on this, and I actually experienced online because I went through many YouTube videos talking about Last House on the Left or going through their Arrow collection. And what I've seen is that that I find is a little bit weird, but it must make sense since I have the same problem. You know, Wes Craven made Last House on the Left and also The Hills Have Eyes. And I'm not a big fan at The Hills Have Eyes at all. But I see most people who like The Hills Have Eyes don't like Last House on the Left. So I don't know if it's because of the mood or the way it's shot or something. But for me, the main reason why I love this is because it feels like a cheap-ass porn film in the way it's like crafted in a way. And I don't know either if that's because Wes Craven was a cinematographer on kind of adult films back in the days, that he took that just over to this film, or if it was because he really wanted to implement it to the film, to the story, to tell it in this way. I just think it fits the film really well because you feel dirty after you've seen the film. And that's just what I want to feel after I've seen a movie like that. I don't feel the same after I've seen I Spit on Your Grave. And the reason why is because it's kind of shot a little bit romantic, I Spit on Your Grave. The American Werewolf in London, probably I wouldn't put it higher than The Thing when it comes to practical effects, but it's still a fucking masterpiece when it is. Highly recommend it. Saw this just 1 week ago or something. Still holds up. I do have a problem with the characters, kind of their interaction to each other in the film, because I don't think it fits the kind of family-friendly horror telling in the film. And I use family-friendly because I think the movie feels a little bit family-friendly when you see it. But I highly recommend The American Werewolf in London. If you haven't seen it, you haven't seen shit. Demons, one of the best Italian films made, in my opinion, and absolutely the best Italian film made that's kind of told in the same, in like a American generic kind of way. It's just so damn crazy and dark. I'll put it down here so I don't break any of these nice, beautiful limited editions. Phenomena, a movie I can't like tell people to see because it's great, if you know my drift. It's a movie that you have to see just to experience something. And I know many people are saying that this is the closest Argento has been to a nightmare. I don't like telling a nightmare on film. I don't completely agree with that because I do think Suspiria is even closer. But this is the closest Argento has been telling a fairy tale on film in my book. And I do think he started the entire thing with Suspiria, with the colors and the supernatural kind of way he told the story. But in Phenomena, I think he succeeds even more when it comes to the fairy tale aspect of it. I also bought this Creepers edition, English release, and also this edition of the film. I know it's wasting money. I know, but I love Argento. Here is my favorite Argento film, Tenebrae. And this is also my favorite cover from Tenebrae, so I had to buy it. Yeah, I can't talk enough about it. I actually have two releases of this one because I got one for free. And that's, yeah, so that's the reason why I haven't opened it. I'm going to sell the other one. I do love this film so damn fucking much. It's hard to explain. Uh, Deep Red is also a movie I really, really love. Probably seen this film's second most of Argento's films, but I do think Tenebrae, Suspiria, maybe even Phenomena gets higher on my list than Profondo Rosso or Deep Red, though. But I actually bought a T-shirt that cost like 80 euros back in the days from Profondo Rosso because I love the film so much. But that just says how much I really love Argento in my book. The Cat on Nine Tail. I haven't seen this for many, many years. I was supposed to see it like a month ago or something, but then I changed my mind and I saw a Fulci film instead. So that's why I have opened it. But I've seen it back in the VHS days. I have it on DVD. I saw it probably in 2000, maybe 2004 or 5. It's a great Giallo film. Not his best work, but still fucking great film. 3 releases of that. And The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. This one I actually saw 6 years ago. I haven't tested the 4K release yet. We'll do it with some friends. But it's also a great release. Actually, sorry, this one was I took wrong. I saw it as Cat. Next one is a movie I love. Is Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. This limited edition is stacked. I really, really love this film. I was so shocked when they was releasing this on 4K. It was a weird release for me because I always looked at that film as kind of a gritty ass movie that couldn't look better even on cinema in my book. But then I saw this edition and it looks amazing. And I found out after watching this, well, there has been some films, New York Ripper, and maybe even I would have actually used Dog Soldiers, also shot pretty gritty. That gritty films are actually the ones that really needs 4K release, as long as they are shot on film. Donnie Darko, I've seen this film many, many times. Haven't opened the 4K yet. I have it, as you can see later on a different release that I've seen at least 3 times. Candyman, I've seen the 4K because I have 2 of those, or I had 2 of those. I sold the one, so I haven't opened this one, but it looks beautiful. And I do think this is my favorite slasher of all time. It's an amazing film. Yeah, so I will probably watch it pretty soon again. True Romance, a movie. I wasn't actually that fond about the 4K of this film because I felt it looked a little bit flat in many cases. But I do think the first 20 minutes of the film seemed like either they had a better negative or it was, I don't know. Let me not go into the technical aspect. I'm not the best on doing that. But yeah, I love this film. It's a masterpiece of a film. This is actually the best dialogue Tarantino has written in my book. Next one out is Wild Things. I do think the 4K was great on this. It wasn't like amazing. I do love the film though. It's a stupid film. I know it's trying to be smart, but the reason why I like it so much is because it's dumb as fuck, but it's so damn sexy. It's probably on my top 5 films ever made when it comes to just giving me cream on cinema. It's like it's so beautiful, and I'm talking not about the cinematography or anything like that. I'm talking just about how beautiful the women are. And for, of course, the women in this, you get Kevin Bacon's cock, just to have said that. June, I have this actually in 3 4K editions, just one from Arrow though. I wasn't a big fan of this before the new one was released, and then I went back and watched this because I hadn't seen it for like 25 years. But for me, the old one is a lot better than the new one. And I have never read the book, June, but and I don't care about stuff like that because books and films should not be similar if it doesn't work. And for me, the new Dune looks kind of more like a computer game than it does a movie, and it's so cold and it's so kind of not flat, but how you say, like clean in many ways, that I don't believe in anything there. But this one is so fucking, it's on LSD. It's a crazy ass movie. It's not a good film, but just because it's so crazy, I think it's good. Another release of RoboCop, and yeah, I don't know. I don't need to talk about it again. It's a perfect film. Tremors, one of the best monster movies out there. I know everybody is talking about it and praising it, and I'm going to step into the line of praising this film because it's a great, great masterpiece. I love this film. Yeah. Videodrome, just saw it the other day again. I had seen it before many times when I was younger. For me, this is a great film. It's probably, if you go into Cronenberg's kind of body horror shock, kind of how you say, like the movie, the shock elements he used in movies, I would put this one of the highest up there. It's not that I think the movie shocks me today, but it's more or less because I do think it's a great film. It's entertaining from the beginning to the end, and I actually saw a review, or it was actually a go through video, go through Arrow stuff, that was complaining that it's slow. But if you're complaining that this is slow, then I believe you're not going to like any film from Cronenberg except maybe The Fly, because this is not a slow Cronenberg film. The next one up is The Wolf of Wall Street. Just arrived in my collection, and I saw it yesterday, or was it the day before? I do think this is the last Martin Scorsese film that he's made that is incredible. I love this film, and yeah, it's also a sexy ass movie actually, but it's also dirty in many places. Another release of Candyman. This is the Blu-ray release that I bought. Like one, I think this was the first limited edition I bought. Yeah, I love this film. Actually, I bought now 3 limited edition of Candyman, but I got to sell my 4K release of Candyman for 20 euros more than I bought it from, and just by that, I actually, yeah, I haven't used much money on Candyman. Waterworld just arrived, the 4K edition of this one. I have seen both versions of this, and I would say that director's cut version is a little bit better than the theatrical version. But if this is a first view for you, I would actually see the theatrical version, because you need to know first if you like the film or not. Many people hate this film, and then they will absolutely hate it if they see the director's cut version, I believe at least. But it's a movie I highly recommend, and for me, I can't even understand how it flopped on cinema. I think it's a masterpiece today, with the effects in it, with everything. Phantom of the Mall. This one I haven't seen yet since I saw it back. I had it on VHS, and the VHS cover I had was a lot cooler than this one. I wonder if the original cover art is in here. Let's check. Like, not original, but if it's the same as the European. Yeah, here it is. It's actually on the booklet of the film. This was the cover art of the VHS back in the day in Norway. I remember when I was young and I saw it that I was so intrigued of getting this film. I saw it way before I was old enough to see it. And then I bought it right away when I could, and I loved it. So I'm looking forward to rewatch it. Legend, haven't seen it for many years. I will give it a go soon. But this is a movie I need to be really in the right mood to see. It's not just a movie I can put on whenever. Shrum. I was thinking of buying the collection of Jörg Buttgereit from Arrow, but as you probably know if you have followed my channel, I made a documentary about Jörg Buttgereit, and I met him many times, and the thing is that I like his work, but I'm not the biggest fan of his original work. Like, not original, but his first film. And I don't like Der Todesking that much. And that was actually the movie, like my documentary was released through his Der Todesking release back in the days. But that's the weakest movie I think he has done. I think Shrum is absolutely his best work. It's a really slow burn, a really slow burn. I talk to people who have seen this who are not into slow burn and they hate this film. But for me, I do think that it's worth grabbing. And what you get on Jörg Buttgereit's movies is a bunch of extra material, bonus features. But I've seen Shrum on cinema also back in the days, and I actually see 2 times now the release I have here. The Beast Within. I saw this when I bought it, or did I see it later on? I remember. I thought it was okay. It's not the greatest, but it's a fun ride though. You can see it with friends also, because it's a movie that has a lot of idiotic scenes and stuff like that, but it's not the movie I would put highest up there. Satanic Panic. I kind of enjoy the film. I don't think it's great, but I enjoyed it. White of the Eye. This movie I was a little bit sad about, because when I put it on, I was thinking, okay, this movie I will really fucking love because of the way it was filmed and everything. But I just felt it didn't actually grow during the process of the film. Gamera, this is the High Sight trilogy, I think you say it, is the new Gamera films. These one I really liked. I really liked these films, and they were like hidden treasures for me, because I hadn't heard about Gamera at all actually before I bought the box. And I'm really happy that I picked up this just randomly at a sale, because I wouldn't probably have done that if I'd seen the box set before I picked up this. Because as I said, the old ones I didn't like that much. I think they are okay, but the new ones are fucking great. The 4K release of Frankenstein, Meryl Shell's Frankenstein. I think it's an okay film. It's better today than it was when it was released, because it's told in the same kind of generic 90s American style gothic horror. I think it was released just after Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I do think that it's better today because you don't get films like this anymore. So when you see it today, it feels a little bit new. Again, RoboCop. The only reason I bought this is because I buy everything that's RoboCop. No, but I love this steelbook. And yeah, I can't get enough RoboCop. I love that film. It's so damn good. The Voices. I would probably have enjoyed this more if I've seen it with friends. I felt it was a little bit slow in ways, because it's trying to use humor, but I don't feel the humor hit me that well. Clash is the only slipcover release actually I have from Arrow Academy. But I bought this as a blind buy, and I regretted it right after I had seen it, because I thought this movie was really bad. And sorry for all the art lovers out there. I do love art as well, but for me this was really, really bad. The American Horror Project, I have 1 and 2 here. I also have some of these releases on single editions, but instead of buying all the single edition, I bought these ones. I haven't seen any of the releases on... Yes, sorry, I've seen The Child. Thought it was okay. Nothing special, but okay. And then you have the American Horror Project, Volume 1. Here I've seen The Premonition. I didn't like that much. I know it's kind of a classic in this kind of genre. The Witches with that came with the sea, from the sea. Sorry, I liked that because I loved the mood in the film. Felt a little bit twisted, and the Cannibal of Blood I haven't seen yet, but soon. The Stylist, I hated this film. Sorry for the director out there. I know it's a pretty damn new film, but I didn't like it at all. Whitefire, I have tried to watch this 2 times now, but I had to turn it off. It felt like a new wave kind of exploitation action film, but what I do love about the exploitation action films, if you like, I do like the kind of, I hate using the word all the time, but the grittiness, but also that you know every stunt, everything they've done on the film has been part of the risk making it. But this one just felt, yeah. The Guyver, I do think it's a good film because, okay, let's say it straight out. It's not a good film, but it could have been one of the best masterpiece that I could, like, in this genre, that I could put up there, like with Killer Clowns from Outer Space or Toxic Avenger or something like that, if they went on the R-rated track. Because the opening scene, I thought they were going R-rated through the entire fucking film, because the special effects in this one are amazing, and I also love many of the things that are trying to do that are from the manga, because it feels a little bit with the dialogue and stuff, a little bit anime. But the thing is that they didn't go completely retarded on that, and that's what they should have done. So I will give this a rewatch someday, but it's not a great film in my book. Girls' Night Out, this was probably the worst slasher, or calm down now, calm down, Gizmo. I is one of the worst slashers I ever seen. I didn't like it at all. Don't Go in the House, I haven't seen it yet. I know it's a classic out there, so I need to give it a go soon. Death Scream, I saw this, but I don't remember much from it, so I need to give it a go again. I do love the slip cover on this one. It's beautiful. Need to be careful with these slips because they break so easy. Deadly Games, I do think me and Isabel saw this film, but I don't remember it. Need to go and give it a watch again. Raging Fury, I kind of remember I loved this film actually, but I don't remember anything from it. I think I saw it like late after I finished UFC, so need to give it a go again, but I do remember I enjoyed this film a lot. Wreck, probably on my top 5 of best horror films from Spain ever made. I do love the reporter in this film. She's acting really well, and I don't... correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think she was an actor when she took the part, but I could be mistaken. A Fish Called Wanda, this was a weird-ass release from Arrow, but this is a classic for me. I've seen it 100 times when I was little, and I loved it. It still has 2 of the best comedian moments ever created on film in my book. I love this film. This one was a weird also release because of how easy they just put it out, if that makes sense. I thought it was going to get a limited edition or something like that, because I love this film. It's one of the last Asian kind of true horror films that I really love. I'm not saying that Asia hasn't come with good horror after that one, but I'm just saying that this is like a pure horror, like in the same sense as The Grudge and The Ring and stuff like that. And I do love this film. Pitch Black, one of 2 Vin Diesel films where he is like the main star that I actually like a lot. I do like the last Riddick film also, or maybe it's not the last, but it was the 3rd one, I think. The Chronicle of Riddick, maybe? Or was it just called Riddick? I'm not sure. Weird Science, a movie I really enjoy. I don't like the humor in this film that much because it doesn't work on me that well, but I do love the story. It's so damn crazy. And watching it today, thinking it's made for teenagers or even kids, is fucking mental. But I love it. And that's what I miss about the 80s and 90s. Crimes of Passion, a Ken Russell film. I don't remember that well, but I do remember I enjoyed it a lot. I remember it had a lot of the 80s vibes in it, and I also saw it back in the days actually when I was younger with the original cover art from. It's not on this one actually. So weird that Arrow don't put out like any of. Well, I just found it on the other one. There it is. No, it's not. It was another another film. Well, I remember I liked it a lot. I think I like every Ken Russell film I've seen. I haven't seen a film from him that I truly love. I do like a lot his movie Whore. That's the one I think is the best I've seen so far. I haven't seen The Devil Sleeping Around yet, but that's something I want to pick up. My Stepmother is an Alien is kind of my go-to comedy movie from I was little. I love this film. It's so damn mental. It's a lovable film. Dream Demon, this was a movie I thought I was going to hate, but I actually liked it a lot. It was, again, crazy. I don't actually understand how the fuck they managed to get money to make this, but it's, yeah, it was a hell of a blast to see. A hell of a blast to see. And I see many people hate it, but I really enjoyed it. Brain Damage. It's not my favorite Hannah Lotte film. I would say Frankenhooker is, but I do enjoy this film a lot. It's something about the way he tells stories and what he's focusing on in his stories and all that he managed to do with so little money. Zombie for Sale, a movie I really didn't like. I think it's part of that I was really fed up with zombie films when I saw it, but it's... I think you've seen everything before that the movie brings. I See You. Me and Isabel saw this. We both of us liked it a lot. Not a lot, but we liked it. There is a twist in it that I saw coming, but still, when the twist arrived, I was a little bit shocked that they were going that direction. We'll give it a go if you haven't seen it. The Woman. Just met Pollyanna McIntosh, and I saw this on cinema just a couple of weeks ago. No, a couple of months ago, sorry. A bunch of extra here, and you also get the first film he made called oh, I don't remember what it's called. I think it was Offspring or something like that. Yeah, and then you have Lux Aeterna, probably the weakest Gaspar Noé film I've seen so far, but I didn't hate it. I just thought it was kind of too easy to be him in a way, if that makes sense. And then you have The Deeper You Dig. This movie is so bad that I can't even talk about it. I thought it was a big piece of shit. And talking about shit, this movie is why I stopped watching films for years. Because just think about this getting a release. I can't fucking understand it. I thought it was so bad. Yeah. And the problem I have is that if you're making a low budget movie, you have at least to have something work in the film. And I will give them props because I do think that they used like normal people, not actors, in many of the roles there. But they didn't use them to implement the story in any way. They were just there, if that makes sense. 12 Monkeys, a beautiful movie, and a movie that I'm not the biggest Terry Gilliam fan, but this movie is a masterpiece. Yeah, and it looks amazing in 4K. And Flash Gordon, probably the craziest movie I saw when I was little. I didn't understand shit on who want to make this. But I loved everything I saw in it. I would probably have loved Gwendolyn more if I saw that before I saw Flash Gordon. I wouldn't compare those two films with the storyline, but with the crazy aspect of why, what, and who, it's up there. And he came from the swamp. I haven't started on this yet. Sorry. But I do love when they release like collection of this from directors. And as I did before, as I talked before on my channel, when I first start with one of the films, I will see all of them in like 2-3 days.
So it will go quick when I first do it. I just need to, I need to be finished with some different things before I go into new things. That's the thing. Phantasm, seen all of them, and I do love the first one. This is the with the sphere kind of thingy inside. Um, it's weird that Arrow didn't put like their brand on the cover art, but you get like this sphere inside here. But I do love that they released this, and I actually bought this used just 2 months ago. I wanted to buy it for a long time. Well, now I have. Um, People Under the Stairs, a movie I fucking love, and this is one of the few. I think it's early 90s or is it end of the 80s that I actually think. I think it's 90, 91 or something. That I actually think works today as well with a scariness. Burning, one of my favorite slashers of all time. One of, I said. Exorcist 3, close to as good as the first one, and I do think the first one is one of the best horror films ever made. So that means that I think this one is too. I do love this film. It's a masterpiece, and it's so weird because before it was released on physical, I think most people actually have forgot about how great it is. It's it's a masterpiece of a film. And as I said, as a fun joke at a channel before, George C. Scott must be my favorite Scream Queen. Carrie, I do love this film. It's a masterpiece. I have actually ordered a 4K release of Carrie because that's one of the 4Ks I really need. The Witch Who Came from the Sea. As I said before, I like this film. I do think the tension in the film is the best part. The story is not so much. Let's see. The Invitation. I didn't like this film that much. I know many people do. I just thought it was a little bit on the nose. If you understand me, if you have seen the film, you will probably understand that. The Count Yorga collection, haven't seen them yet. I know many people are really loving those films, so I'm looking forward to check them out. Phantom of the Paradise. I actually never seen this Brian De Palma film, but I will soon. It's highly on my list. It was taken straight from one of the of the films I've chosen to see pretty damn soon. Microwave Massacre. I didn't load this. It's way too. It's not that it's just too cheap, but it's filmed in a way that doesn't fit like what I think the director wanted to create. And it's of course budgeting, as we always say. But yeah, this film I know many people out there really like. I think this is the first or the second film Tom Savini did the special effects on. I didn't like it that much. I thought it was kind of boring, to be honest. Same with Rawhead Rex. I know this is a classic. Clive Baker wrote it, and yeah. But you have an incredible priest in this film that you will never forget, and he does a marvelous job. The chill factor is many people are calling it like a generic slasher, but for me it's more about what I think the director really wanted to do was to make a generic slasher, but I think he failed because it doesn't have any of the stuff that a generic slasher should have with it. The stuff, I said it before, I didn't love this film. I do like bits and pieces from it, but it's, yeah. I do like the satire of the film. I do like that a lot. Satan's Blade. I don't remember it. I need to give it a go again. I can remember something, but it's weak. I need to give it a go again because I heard a lot of good stuff about it. Doom Asylum. This actually grown on me because when I first saw it, I said it's the worst film that Arrow has released. But then we rewatched it at our movie night, and it's actually grown a bit on me. I'm not saying it's a good film, but I'm just saying it's grown on me. It's yeah, it has this kind of Truma vibe to it, and it's a little bit fun. I will give it that. A friend of mine, Brad, actually put this really high on his list. For me, it didn't work that well. I thought it felt a little bit cheap, and it is a cheap film, but it's not bad. It's just not like something I will go back to pretty soon. The Visitor, I really like this one. I talked about it already on my channel. It's has this amazing atmosphere and really great build-ups and stuff like that. A really fun ride. Man, this was hard. I see other people do this 10 times as good as me. Let's do it easy. Take down this. We do it like this. Okay. Hellgate. I really wanted to like this film. I really did. But no. I did like the kind of the vibe of the film in a way. But yeah. Maniac Cop, I said it before and I say it again. I'm happy that just the second and the third one got released on 4K. I don't think I will pick up the first one if it does. And I do think it's getting a 4K release in January or February. I don't remember the label. But it's the first one is not really good. Blood Rage, I know it's got a lot of praise and I do like the film, absolutely. But it's... I do like it. I do like it. I give it a little bit praise though. Black Rainbow. This was a movie I was really looking forward to see, and I really liked it. Rosanna Arquette is in it, and that's really fun to see her young again. And yeah, I think it's a really nice shot movie. That the creepiness is not there for me, but still, it's a fun ride. Bride of Reanimator. I don't love this film, but I do like it. I like actually all the Reanimator films. But the first one is, of course, a masterpiece. The Mutilator. This was the first slasher I ever got that was part of the Video Nasties. It was actually this, and after this I got the Toolbox Murder. And for me, the Toolbox Murder was better when I was younger. But the Mutilator has the ending, almost like I was just as shocked about the ending in that one as I was with Bone Tomahawk, because the ending is really violent in the Mutilator. Do I like it today? I think it's okay. I just think it uses like 1 hour to get going in a way. Life Force, I had this lying around because I thought I'd seen it before and I didn't like it, but I love this film. And I didn't see it before I bought the 4K edition of it. I had that from, is it Scream Factory who released it? I believe so. But I love Life Force. Hellraiser. It has been on my top of best films ever list, actually. But T2, no, actually T2 has always been on top of that. But it's one of the best films ever made. Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. One of the best sequels ever made, I would say. It's on the list of probably 20 sequels or something. I really love it. It's something completely different than the first one in my book, but I know I talked to a friend of mine a lot about Hellbound, but for me, and he says that he found this more creepy than the first one. But for me, I always watch this as part of kind of a comedy in a way. I know it's weird, but I always found it more enjoyable because of the campiness of it. But the special effects in it are great. Elvira, Mystery of the Dark. This was a film that we didn't get in Norway. Like I don't think many people had talked about it in Norway either back in the days. But I visited and I thought, both me and Isabel thought it was a good film. It's a fun little film that should have gotten a better release in Norway back in the days, because it hits actually the same beats as Addams Family in a way. Night of the Comets, I really love the tension in this one, the production design, everything. I just didn't like the story, but it is a rewatch just because how insanely cool it is. It's, yeah. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, I just saw it because of the release through Winger Syndrome, the 4K, so I will probably never visit this again, but it's nice to have the original Arrow release. I like the film a lot. I think it's sleazy, it's campy, it's weird. The Baby, I had never heard about this film before, but I loved it. And it really are in time today, if you know my drift. Blood Tide. I didn't like this film that much. I do like the sexploitation tension in the film in a way, but there wasn't anything to grab me with the story. But it's so damn beautiful shot. It feels like an Italian sexploitation film, or even goes into the territory of French sexploitation during the 60s and 70s. So just because of that, it's worth. Vamp. I find this enjoyable today, but when I was younger, I fucking hated this film, and I don't really know why. You also have Dee Dee Pfeiffer in it, and of course, Grace Jones. Creepshow 2, one of my favorite horror films when I was little. I love this 10 times as much as the first one. Nowadays, I think I do like one of the stories a lot. One of the stories is okay, and one of the stories is not that good at all. But it's a fun little film to see, especially if you have some beers, friends around, and everything. House 4, shit. Sorry, but it's bad. House 3, mine is okay. Lance Henriksen gives it something. House 2 is fun, but I do find it a little bit too camp in a way. And I know it's weird since the first one is House, and if you have seen House, the whole movie is campy. But the first one has a kind of cool little mood in it that it's hard to explain. Yeah. Burn Offering, I really need to revisit this, but I did enjoy it a lot. But I heard so many good things about it, so I really need to revisit it. Toys Are Not for Children. This movie was just like The Baby. It was a movie that shocked me to death. I really love this film. It's incredible. The satire in this film are up there amazing. And I actually like the twist in it as well. It's a movie that gets way too little recognition. Invasion of the Body Snatcher, of course, a classic everybody like. I do think this movie holds up just as good today as it did back then. This is the 80 version, and yeah. The Fury, I know it's a classic, and I know everybody loves it. Even fucking the greatest directors out there into art house and stuff are talking about it. For me, I found it a little bit problematic with the face. It felt like it lasted for fucking 3 hours, and I also felt the ending was a little bit lackluster in a way. The Car, a movie I kind of enjoy. I don't love it at any way possible, but I think it's enjoyable though. Class of Nukem High, a movie I love. This is the third best film from Troma ever. I do love it in every way possible. I love the story, and I know it's a ripoff of You Know What, but it's done in a Troma way, so it's okay. Dressed to Kill from Brian De Palma again, a movie I haven't seen for many years. I was supposed to buy, or actually did buy the 4K of this one, actually, as I will watch it pretty soon. I love these kind of thrillers. I don't remember the English word for it, but those thrillers that came a lot, like Obsession as well. These films are really, really great if you just are into a simple kind of story in a way, but told with a lot of tension. The Hound of the Baskerville, haven't seen it for many, many years, but I bought it just because I liked it. It was one of the few school films that we had to watch on school that I actually loved, so yeah. Society, I never loved this film, but it's of course a great film, but it's not up there among like the best of the best that many people say. But I do enjoy it a lot. The Wizard of Gore, well, I have this in a box set as well. Yeah, I don't remember actually. I don't remember any of these, and I don't remember which I've seen. So I think the best thing for me is to go through the box set and see one by one again, because I saw them at one point. I think I saw 2 or 3 films, and for me, I don't remember, but I remember I liked one of them. Yeah. I do like the practical effects, at least in the film, but I can't talk about it. Same with The Pit and the Pendulum. I haven't seen it for years. This is a movie I need to give it a go. But this is a movie I gave a go, and I loved it. It's a movie I hadn't seen since I was like 10, 11 years old, I believe. But it's just as good today. It's amazing. And one of the best, actually, like, miniature kind of action, not action, but the kind of movies ever made in my book. I just love it. And the story is also so, yeah, it captured you from the first 10 minutes of the film. You are into the storyline of that one. I actually feel that the film feels it's made not today, but like, let's say in the 80s as a retro film from the 60s, 50s. So now we are on the bottom shelf of one of... I need to take out some Crash, Cronenberg. I love this film. I just rewatched it. I will take out some of these. The Exterminator, a movie I never liked that much. I know people love it as an exploitation film, but for me, it's so many better out there. Matinee, I thought I'd seen it before, but I hadn't. Watched it like 2 years ago or something. Didn't fall in love with it. I do think John Goodman is the best part and the only good part in the film, and also some of the effects done in the meta aspect of the film, like the film within the film, are cool. Thief, this is a movie I have to give a go again because I didn't get into it and I know I will love it. Love Michael Mann. Return of the Killer Tomatoes, a movie I enjoyed a lot more than I first believed I was going to. I hadn't seen it before. I'd seen the other tomato film that was released in the 80s, Dark Blue. This was a movie I thought I was going to like a lot, but I didn't. I need to give it a go again. Island of Death, a movie I really enjoyed. This is a fucked up movie in every way possible. It's a really, really crazy ass film. And I know I talk positive of every crazy film, but I'm not saying every movie that I say is crazy because of violence or anything like that. It's more about why it's made. And that's something I love with films. That's also a reason why I put Mondo Macabre pretty high up, because all of the films I have from Mondo Macabre so far are crazy films. And I only have like 6 or 8 of them or something. And I think I liked, like, it's one of them I didn't like, rest I liked. Black Mama, White Mama. I haven't seen it for years now, but I think I like this better than Foxy Brown and the other really famous Pam Grier film. Tideland, a movie I really enjoyed when I first saw it. Haven't seen it since, my first watch. I need to give it a go again because I really enjoyed that film. 16 Candles, not my favorite, but it's still a great fucking film. It's, for me, I don't think the story really intrigued me that much, but it's hard to not love a huge film, sorry. Red Scorpion, I'm probably the biggest lover of this film in the entire world because I think this is one of the best exploitation action films ever made. And I know it wasn't branded as an exploitation film because it has a pretty decent budget and stuff. And you had Dolph Lundgren that already was on kind of a climb in his career when this was released. But I really like this film. I actually have it now through 4 different releases. I think I have it through, was it 88 or 101 films, and I have the Norwegian new kind of release of it, and I have this one, and I also have the DVD. The Boondock Saints, a movie I like. I don't love it, but I like it. There are some really cool scenes in it and really great actors, and 2 of them has really cool parts. I think it's William Dafoe has one of his best roles actually. Deadbeat at Dawn, this movie I liked a lot. It's a really cheap movie, but it's done perfectly in how you should make a movie like that. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, a movie I struggled to see more than once. I tried to put it on again, but I can't watch the entire film, I believe, but there are some scenes in it that I can like fast forward to or skip to, and they are amazing, and I can see them 100 times. Okay, here is Donnie Darko, the version I actually seen lately, before I got the 4K release. So yeah, I already talked about it, and I love it. Annihilators, did I see this? I don't actually remember. Then I need to give it a go. There is so many films I need to see, but as I said, I watch a lot. Blowout, I just saw my Criterion release of this film. It's so good that I actually thinking of buying it on 4K. And one of the reasons why I already said on my channel is because I don't think the restoration on the Criterion edition is that good. I do think they use the same as Arrow does. Future Shock, I haven't gone around to see it. We were supposed to see it during the Corona, like our B-movie nights thing, but we never got around to see it. This movie was not my thing at all. I do think there are 2 scenes in the film that are so fucking sexy that I was so drawn into them that I loved it. But the movie as a whole was pretty damn boring. Jake Speed, haven't seen it yet. This is a movie I'm also looking forward to see. I have no idea what it is about. I believe so, at least. Sometimes I have seen them, but I forget. In the aftermath, we were also supposed to see this because of that during the Corona time. Looks like a perfect Corona movie, but we choose some other films. Images, haven't seen it. It's a Robert Altman film. Yeah, Robert Altman film. I haven't seen it yet. This is the weirdest John Landis film, I believe, out there. Schlock. I didn't like it that much. I did kind of like part of the satire in the film, but the meta aspect of the film I did not enjoy, and they put too much creme of that in the film, so I was taken out of the story. DEFCON 4, a movie I didn't like at all. I did like some of the special effects in the film, or the props used in the film, but that's it. I'm a big fucking sucker for the 80s kind of teen movies, if you like. But Porky's, the most famous 80s teen comedy in a way, like this kind of sleazy teen comedies, I never actually enjoyed this. Not even Porky's Revenge. Or not even, I think this is well praised, a lot higher than Porky's Revenge though, but no, I'm struggling with Porky's. Hired to Kill, I just saw this like a half year ago, but I don't remember anything about it. I just remember, of course, Brian Thompson is in it, but I need to give it a go again. Mega Time Squad, I believe this was a New Zealand film, not Australian, if I remember rightly. I did not like it at all. I was struggling my way through the film. I thought it was like really trash, like bad. It's made with a decent budget, I believe. Not high budget, but like I believe they had a budget to the film at least. But it just, no, it's not my thing. Animal Factory, I had high hopes for this one. I do think it's good, but it's not great. It's an okay film. Okay, I would give it. The short films from David Cronenberg, I struggled through all 3 films of these. I didn't like any of them. I do think the last one, what was that again? Maybe it was Crime of the Future, maybe. I do think at least the last one was the best one, but it's been a while since I saw them. But I just felt they didn't have anything to tell me. Here we have Jörg Buttgereit again, Necromantic. Yeah, I don't like this film that much. I love the music in it. I love, not love, but I like some of the special effects. And there is one cinematography achievement he did in this one. But I do think Necromantic 2 has a way cooler scene. And as I said before, Schramm is way over there because he used some tracking shots with a dolly in all of his films except Death to Desking, as far as I remember. Or he did it in Death to Desking also because he did go around the room. But I do love that it's playing with the cinematography. Vigil, a movie we are back and forward with Arrow B-movie night because we kind of liked it, but we didn't. And I have really problem with the Winston Ward films because I've seen now 2 of his films. I think I have the other one also from Arrow. But anyway, but Vigil is the best of them. And yeah, 12 Monkeys again, Blu-ray. Was long time ago I bought it. Love that film. Bound, one of the less talked about, but also one of the sexiest sleaze films from the 90s. Love it. I'm not the biggest fan of Jennifer Tilly, but when she goes into this territory, I fucking love her. With Nail and I need to see this again. I was not in the mood when I first saw it. It's one of the biggest classics out there when it comes to art house cinema. Yeah, I can't talk about it because I need to see it again. Pulp, never seen this film actually. Looking forward to give it a go. think it's the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. I can't say. Probably beginning of the 70s, if I would imagine, since I haven't seen it before. Why Don't You Just Die? A Russian splatter in a way, but it's not a splatter actually. It's a psychological drama, maybe. Yeah, I would have loved this film if they didn't go into the CGI shit when it comes to blood and stuff. It's a pretty new film, but I do think that the CGI stuff are terrible in the film. I do like many of the actors in it, or some of the actors, I mean. Yeah. Andromeda Strain, never seen it actually. Kind of embarrassed to say that. It's not a film I shouldn't have seen. Mona Lisa, haven't seen it. And I haven't seen The Swinging Cheerleader. So as you see, I have still some movies I haven't seen. Here it is. The Navigator, A Medieval Odyssey. This is the other Winston Ward film I have seen. And I didn't like it. I think he tells stories in a boring way. And in Vigil, he used the same fucking shot like 5 times. The same shot. It's so weird that you can do that in a film without actually giving any more reasons for why you do it. Hounds of Love, I saw this when I got it. This is it's the Australian film with the abduction of some women. I did like this film a lot. It's not great, but it's a good movie. Incident in a Ghostland. This is a movie from Pascal Laugier, and he's the guy who made Martyrs, one of my favorite horror films. Did like this film. Not love it, but I liked it. I think he made his masterpiece with Martyrs. Stormy Monday. I tried watching this, but I will give it another go. So many great actors, and a movie I should have seen. I love the look of the film, but I didn't get captured to the story. Time Bandits, Terry Gilliam film. I never understood. I'm not into this. Sorry. Evil Ed, a Danish film I had seen when I was little. It was released on VHS in Norway. The cool thing about this, or the most fun thing about this, is of course the practical effects, and that is Scandinavian from a time where we didn't make films like this at all. I'm not saying we do today either. It's been dead for a while, but at least we have made some. Dead End Drive-In, a movie I fucking love. I love this film. This movie is incredible. Quiet Earth, also a movie I love. Perfectly movie. Miracle Mile, the satire in this film, the kind of meta aspect of the film is fucking beautiful. I love this film. Sardos, masterpiece over masterpiece. This is Matrix long before Matrix ever existed. I love this film. Sean Connery in a Speedo, what's not to like? Hell Come to Frogtown, one of the best satire from America about the 80s kind of in the hood films. If people know what I mean about that. The Burbs, one of the best comedies made in the 80s. I love this film. I didn't see it before I was grown up. Yeah. Big Trouble in Little China, not my favorite John Carpenter film, but still a really, really nice done movie that I really like a lot. The Prey, I didn't like this film at all. Sorry. Scared Stiff, okay. It's kind of a cheap way of I don't know. It was really 80s, but still it didn't have a story that really grabbed me, but it was kind of a fun watch. Madhouse, I need to rewatch this because I haven't seen it since I was pretty young, and when I rewatched it, we saw it with a bunch of friends many years ago, and I think I was drunk also. Trapped Alive, okay, I would say. Yeah, it feels a little bit like a normal slasher in a way. Tales of Terror, I haven't seen this actually. Yeah. Horror Express, this was a movie I was looking forward to see, but yeah, it was not my thing. Felt a little bit dated. Theatrical Blood, haven't seen it. Carnival of Blood, haven't seen it. Deadly Minor, I was supposed to see this some days ago before I made this video because I heard so many good things about it. but I didn't, sorry to say. Yeah, haven't seen this one. Haven't seen, these are even open yet. The Sender, haven't seen this one either. I think there's many films here I haven't seen. Haven't seen Deadly Blessing. This is a Wes Craven film, actually, I haven't seen. I think I saw it when I was younger, but I don't remember. City of the Dead, have not seen it. Scalper, have not seen it. The Premonition, I already talked about it. Thought it was okay. Shivers, of course, a classic that I will recommend to everyone out there. One of Cronenberg's best films in my book. These two films I actually seen before, but I don't remember anything from them. It's George R. Romero, this and this one. Night Riders, I think it's okay. It's not the best movie, but it's an okay. It's also George R. Romero. Next one is Don't Torture a Duckling from Lucio Fulci. A movie I think it's good, but not great. I know many people put it highest on the list. The House of the Cemetery, the weakest of the trilogy from Fulci in my book, but still a good film. Zombie Flesh Eaters, great fucking, not great fucking film, but so many great scenes in it that I have to recommend it. This is The Black Cat from Lucio Fulci, a movie I enjoy. City of the Living Dead is my favorite trilogy of the trilogy from Fulci. It's a really great movie in my book. Most people out there put The Beyond on the top. Phenomena, already talked about it. Beautiful. Cat o' Nine Tail, talked about. Inferno, one of the weakest of the classic Argento, but still a good film. The underwater sequence in that film is incredible. Deep Red, talked about that one. Tenebrae, of course, my favorite. Blood and Black Lace, I don't remember it. I need to give it a go again. I know I saw it with my friend, but yeah, it's hard to keep track on all of these Jolly. Baron Blood, I thought was okay. I do love the production design in this film. I do think the story is a little fucked up when it comes to, yeah, what it's trying to tell. And next one out is A Bay of Blood. This one I think is actually Mario Bava's best film that I've seen so far. Kill Baby Kill was okay, but not the greatest. This is, I will say this is one of the most like classic, if you want, like not goth horror, but still a little bit from him. The Forbidden Photo of Lady Muna Suspiria maybe. I don't think I've seen it actually. That Smiles on a Murderer, I haven't seen. The Liana with the Tongue of Fire, I haven't seen. Nightmare City, strange, fucked up zombie film. I can actually recommend this because it's so weird, but it's not a great film at all. But yeah, it's a weird film. Death Walk on High Heels. I saw this film, one of the first film I saw from when I was grown up, seeing Jelly again. I remember I liked it, but I can't talk about it because I don't remember much. The Bloodstained Butterfly. I don't remember. What Have You Done to Solange? I thought it was okay. It's not great. I think Camille Keaton was in this. Yes. It's a okay movie. Okay jolly. Not the best. The Night Evelyn Came Out of the Grave. Actually never seen that film. Same with this one. The Red Queen Killed 7 Times. Haven't seen it yet. This one I already talked about. Liked it a lot. And now into Tinto Brass, Privileus Lula. Haven't seen that one, but I've seen The Key and Cheeky. And if I will recommend one of those, I would recommend Cheeky. That's a really fun sexploitation film. Contamination. This is a bad film, but it's so bad that it actually gets a little bit fun. Texo Adios. Haven't seen this. Franco Nero is in it. I haven't actually seen that one yet. I haven't seen these ones either. Return of Ringo and The Pistol for Ringo. And you had Day of Anger. I know this is a classic and people are loving this film all over the place. I actually didn't like it. I didn't like the main guy in it. And I know people, that's one of the reasons people like it, but I just couldn't care about him. And here we have Battle Royale 1 and 2. One is in 4K, and I love the first Battle Royale film. It's as gritty as it comes when it comes to these kind of course I can go into these Asian films, but for me it's more about this kind of style of filmmaking. You know, you don't have the big budget, you're doing what you can, and the way they choose to do that film is just amazing. I haven't seen any of the Creature with the Atom Brain, the Werewolf, Zombie of Muratali, and Giant Claw. I haven't seen any of them yet. Haven't seen almost any of the Fassbender films yet. I've seen... which one was it? Oh, I didn't put them in right order. Gods of the Plague. I hated that film. It was really terrible. It's in this box set. Satan's Brew. I kind of like Satan's Brew, mostly because it's made so fucking weird. It's like all the actors are not like playing characters. They are just showing emotions through everything. It's like a society built of emotions. The Yokai Monsters collection. I've seen one of the films. Which one was it? Well, anyway, I can't talk about it, but this is also kind of the stop motion miniature stuff, and I'm really looking forward. I'm looking more forward to go through that than I do the Damatian trilogy, because this seems a lot more fun, but a little bit lower budget on. Feast, the Hersch Gordon Lewis box set. As I said, I've seen 2 or 3 of the films in this box set, but I can't talk about it. It's been a while. Phantasm again, and I do love every one of them. The first one is a masterpiece. The second one is close to a masterpiece. The Ring collection, I like. Ring 1. Ring 2, I think is okay. Ring 0, I love. And I know many people hate that film, but yeah, that's up to them to destroy their life by not really loving Ring 0. Weird Wisconsin, what's his name again? Bill Rebane. Haven't started on them yet. Haven't seen Street Mobster yet. Branded to Kill, I haven't seen. I think I've seen this one before, but I don't remember. Orgies of Edo, I haven't seen. Yeah, the Massacre film, I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen Blind Beast. This I haven't opened yet. Wolf Guy I saw, I thought it was okay, nothing special. Has a really funny scene in it. This one I'm really looking forward to see. It's the Kishi Meek, and I like most of it. This is a musical, I believe. Doberman Cop I saw. I did not love it, but it has this kind of style of action I really enjoy. But I just felt it was more about the drama, and the drama aspect of the film I couldn't care much about. Audition, I love this film. It's one of, yeah, it was one of my favorite films before. I don't know if I put it up there today, but it's still a masterpiece. Empathy Inc. I don't remember this film. I just remember I didn't like it. So yeah. Nagashuka or Shusha or something. I really like the mood in this film. It's a movie I highly recommend if you're into The Witch and stuff like that. It's a little bit more low budget, but it's made with a kind of more art house vibe, so you don't get like this wrecked or what you call it from that. Kulibus, I didn't like it all. I thought it was shit. Already talked about it on my channel. Really bad film. Catfight wasn't a bad film. Was interesting in many ways, but the most interesting part about this film, and I hope everybody listen now, is that see the interview with the director before you see the film. I wish I did that. And Harpoon, this was a weak film in my book. I didn't like it. And I love most films like that, but this, no. Sleeping Dogs, Australian film if I remember rightly. I didn't like it at all. Thought it was boring as hell. The Marx Bros films, I have seen all of these when I was younger. We had to see all of their films when I went to school. I did think they were fun. I remember I like actually this Duck Soup the most. And I do think the girls in my class like another film. I actually missing one of their releases in the collection. I will pick up later on, I believe. Story of Sin. I've seen this film before, but I need to rewatch it again. Haven't taken off the plastic yet. Black Venus, kind of weak in my book. It was so damn long, but there are really fucked up scenes in it that goes into the kind of territory where we talk about racism in not a different way, pretty clear way though. But A Trip to the Moon, haven't seen it since I went to the school. This is a movie from the 20s or something. I think it's from the 20s, if I'm not mistaken. It's like one of the first sci-fi kind of films. But I could be mistaken. But I think this was one of those we saw in school. The Human Condition, I like them, but I don't love them. And I know people will give me a lot of shit for that. I think the first one is a little bit dated, actually. I like the third one the best. Decalogue, I started this one, and I will give them a go later on, but I wasn't in the mood. Phantom Lady, I haven't seen. The Grand Buffet, I just bought this like last month, I think it was, for my upgrade. And this is a film I wanted to see for a long fucking time. My Life as a Dog is a beautiful film from Sweden. Being John Malkovich is fantastic. The Running Man, it's okay. It's okay. The Untamed, I didn't like this, but I will give it a go again because it has some interesting kind of the way it's told. Povaquachi, it's a movie you see one time. Same with the first of him, this one, Kaya no Squatse. It's a documentary kind of based, telling how society runs in a way, and from the beginning of time to, or not beginning of time actually, but yeah, you have to see it. It's people are saying you shouldn't see those movies if you are not smoking weed, but you should never see those movies if you are on LSD or something like that. The Money Lover, I saw this and I thought it was okay. I was expecting a lot more of the sexploitationness in it. I don't know why. Hard to Be a God, 3 hours of Russian films about shit, about poop and shit. I liked it. The Mad Fox, I never seen it. Bought it mostly because I've seen the cover art of it for such a long time. The Man of Thousand Faces, haven't seen it. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Osborne. One of those films I remember a lot from when I was younger. I had it on VHS. It's from Valerian Borovsky, and I talked a lot about him on my channel. But I do like that film a lot. Family Values, haven't seen it. And last shelf is 1001 Nights. Haven't seen it for many years. I can't talk about it. One Cut of the Dead, a movie I know everybody loved, but for me, I liked it, but it wasn't like, yay! I would probably have loved it if I saw it back in the 90s. Top Knot Detective, I haven't seen. Tutu the Hero, I haven't seen. I known about this film for a while. Cinema Paradiso, I haven't checked out the 4K of this yet, but of course I've seen the film. I like it, it's a beautiful film. This one I actually going to see this Christmas, never seen it before. Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, David Bowie. The Witches, I saw it and I didn't like it that much. It's not bad, but it's kind of, I would actually think more that this is a film for Powerhouse, because Powerhouse release a lot of those UK films that has this kind of, every movie feels almost the same in a way, for me at least. I do love some of their releases, of course, but yeah, I'm struggling with Powerhouse, to be fair. The Serpent Egg, haven't seen it for many years. I'm going through all of the Ingmar Bergman's films now from the Criterion box I have, so this will be soon. Dark City, film noir style movie that it's okay, not my kind of thing. Bloody Spare at Mountain Fuji, haven't seen it. I started with one, and I need to sit down and see this at a point where I'm really into seeing this kind of films. Haven't started with the Eric Romer
comedy and Proverbs box set. Haven't seen anything from that, so I don't know what it is. I've seen all the films from this box set. Valerian Borowski, the same guy I talked about earlier here about Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Osborne film. I highly recommend his films. And if you're going to start, don't start with The Beast. I know everybody is talking about The Beast, but don't start with The Beast, because you're going to love The Beast even more if you're starting with something that you think is, I would say actually Immortal Tales is a good one, or Blanche. But yeah, I haven't seen any of these. It's 8 hours, don't make a day. It's Fassbender TV series, I believe it is, or something. I'm going to finish off all his films before I start with this one. And of course, The Game with Michael Douglas. Incredible film. And I'm just going to shuffle the camera over here for the last thing from Arrow in my collection is the Sean Scope movies. And I have only seen one of the films, and that's Mighty Peking Man. And I love that. So I'm looking forward to digging more into that. I know I haven't seen, there's many films I haven't seen yet, but you gotta remember, I'm watching tons of stuff. So I will see most of them pretty damn soon. Sorry, so I forgot actually the one title, because I just saw this. This is a really, really great Italian kind of little horror movie. Isn't that right, Aika? Yeah, that's right. So I highly recommend this. It's a great, great, great movie. They say it's a ripoff of The Exorcist. I wouldn't say so. It goes completely bananas. But that was my entire Arrow collection. I think the next collection I will do is probably 88 films, or maybe even it will be the Winger Syndrome or Severin. Arrow is probably my biggest in the collection. I hope you will drop a comment and tell me if you have any recommendation and if you like some of the films. I'm really grateful for following this live stream, and for you who see this video after a live stream, please like, subscribe, and I will say for the first time now, I will say please share my video. So have a great day. Bye bye bye. Woo!